Today I'm going to be showing you how I've been managing to lose inches off my waist while still keeping my bunda gains strong. Basically, cut update, how to cut in the best way, not to restrict yourself too much, still enjoy food and still amazing results. But listen, like some of you might already know, I've been trying to do a cut, and cutting, if you've tried or if you're scared of cutting, you know that you might lose some bunda gains. But the way I've been doing it, I've been trying to first of all keep my gains as much as possible while still trying to look as lean as possible too. Try to basically work on the core section, because the idea obviously is to get the amazing abs, thin waist, itty bitty waist with big juicy bunda. But what am I doing over here? Let me just show you my station. These are some of the most important foods that I have in my diet, and I'm gonna quickly show you and explain to you why. Let me also top up my water with creatine. I always aim to drink between 3 of these, I would say, which are like 3 liters of water, I would say. Watch out, because drinking too much water can be poisonous for you. And what I'm adding just once a day, by the way, not every time I refill it, because otherwise it's too much, is this baby over here, my secret weapon, creatine, which, by the way, if you want to get it, I'll link it in the description below. But why is it important, Amelia? Why is creatine that important? Because you'll start to lose a little bit of strength when you're reducing the amount of calories, which is normal, so you can't lift as heavy. Okay, what you need to do is, this is an extra energy source, and it will help build your muscle and push you at the gym, as well as helping with the recovery. I love oats, and I used to have them all the time if you're an OG and watch my videos, but I want to have sometimes a savory breakfast, so I prefer packing these lovely breakfast muffins. They're just made with bagel, chicken sausages, and a slice of cheese with some spinach to add the vitamins in. So all you do, you just literally prep them and you pop them in the fridge or freezer if you're gonna keep them there for longer than 3 days. And they're only, I'll put the calories for here on the screen so that you know, amazing macros for like 300 calories. This is what you get. So top tips, if we could start putting a to-do list of what you need to do in order to try and lose obviously fat without compromising your gains too much. 1, we're gonna start with nutrition. 1 is prioritize protein. So protein is the building blocks of your muscle. You need it, it's super important. So try to prefer high protein meals. People say all the time to me, Chiara, I had a protein shake and they had like, I don't know, chicken for lunch or for dinner, and you think, oh yeah, I ate protein. Are you joking me? This is not how it works. Protein every single meal, okay? You have to hit a target, okay? If you don't know what your target is, 2 grams per kilo of body weight. Meaning if you weigh 60, you need to at least 2 times 60 is 120 grams of protein. Do you understand, capito? This is obviously a very general rule. There is more things that apply to this, but this is what you need to keep in mind. Also, Numero 2, cut gradually. This is super important. Listen, familia, if you start cutting straight away, so if you start crash diets or things that put you in a deficit straight away, you'll 100% lose muscle straight away. So I recommend doing it gradually. How have I been doing it? I personally do it minus 150 to 200 less calories than what I normally have. So if I normally used to have, I don't know, I'm completely making it up, 2,000 calories, just to put it in a context. Now I would have 1,800. Every 2 weeks I cut it by 2. However, there is one thing very important that I need to tell you, and this is for people that struggle to actually start cutting calories. I'm someone that, like, for example, hates reducing the amount of food, but the equation in order to lose fat is always calories that you eat, yum yum, need to be less than the calories that you burn. So if you still want to eat kind of the same amount of foods and not keep cutting the food over time, which is what I don't want to do because I love my food too much, then it means that you have to move more, you have to burn more calories. And this is another key ingredient that I'm going to show you now. And I'm here looking like your next head of security, but there is a reason why. This is a weighted vest, familia. The reason why I'm using it is simple. Like I told you before, I don't want to start cutting too much of my food because I'm too much of a foodie, okay? And my cut is also not going to be aggressive. What does it mean? I'm actually kind of staying around from my bulk that I've been doing, although I've been cutting food because my bulk was 2,500 and now I'm around 2,100 to 2,200. So obviously I've been cutting food and the calories. Although I've been cutting, I don't think I'm actually gonna go in a proper deficit, or not a big one anyway. I'm gonna stay around maintenance and do something called a body recomposition for a while, and then slowly maybe go under it, just slightly though. Just because I don't have, this is not something that anyone can do. Depends how much fat you have to lose, and it's also because that's what suits me as well and my goal. I don't have an extreme amount of fat that I have to get rid of, so for me this is perfect. So anyway, if I don't want to keep cutting food and I don't want to get rid of the majority of my calories, what you have to do is burn them. When you wear a vest like this, okay, let me just give you a bit of a spin. This is so cool. But what you can do is either try and do some extra cardio, or if you want to do like your normal chores for your day-to-day activities at home and wear this, you basically burn extra calories. How does the science actually work when it comes to these things? Obviously, heavier people burn more calories. That's just like a given fact. That's why, for example, you will notice that men, for example, they can eat a lot more because they're heavier, they have more muscle mass, etc. That's why they can burn more calories than someone that is a little bit shorter, for example, or smaller. So if you trick your brain into thinking that you're heavier, this is like 10 kilos, and I got it by the way from Amazon, it's so handy. You will affect your TEE, so your total energy expenditure, because the amount of calories that you burn, even when you're doing your day-to-day activities, for example, cleaning around or doing your chores, or even like obviously if you want to do some cardio and add this, which is what I do as well. So overall you will burn more calories without than when you don't have it. Does it make sense? So anyway, in terms of the cardio that I like to do, so the type of cardio that you do can be different. For example, you can do either, I like to do incline walk, so faster walk. Let me just set it. I'll do like a bit of incline, and we want to obviously up the pace. Come on. Okay, and with the weighted vest, let me tell you something from here. With the weighted vest, it is so hard because obviously you have to work against the force, but obviously it's a win-win because you burn more calories. And another important thing, I actually like to do it not on this treadmill, but on the curved one, just because it's better for your impact, and it also, I can decide the pace. It's sprints. There's so much that you can, and it's so much harder with. It's really hard to do on this treadmill. So many reasons why I like to do sprints as my form of cardio. First of all, because they are shorter, so the pain is literally ranges in a short interval, because obviously it's interval training, right? Actually, they're scientifically proven to be one of the best type of cardio for, guess what, your bunda gains. Actually, sprinters. Have you seen actually the bunda of some of the sprinters out there? I mean, please. So anyway, this one, that's why it's my favorite type of cardio as well. But also because you only have to do like, I normally do 10-15 minutes max, and it's with intervals, okay? So it's just like a short, just get it done with a lot of pain for a short amount of time, so you don't have to keep worrying about it. I only do it between 2 to maybe max 3 times a week for this thing. You don't want to start doing too much cardio, okay? If you start doing too much cardio, then obviously bunda gains, sayonara. Next, creatine that I showed you before. That's why I get it. Like I said, I explained to you, as you start cutting less calories, you'll have less strength of training. You'll start feeling a little bit weaker. So things like creatine can help you. Also, other secret ingredient that I've started incorporating with this cut particularly is electrolytes. These will help you, give you extra energy and extra endurance, because you start feeling more fatigued when you're cutting, and especially if you're doing the sprints, like the cardio that I was showing you before, this will help as well. For these electrolytes and creatine, you can get them in the description link below. Next, progressive overload. And I know that we say it so many times, progressive overload, but it's so underrated because people don't really understand the meaning of it. Familia, even if you're cutting and your strength is trying to drop, the whole point, you have to fight against it. I've been trying to lift the same amount of weight that I do on a cut. I struggle, yes, but it's the whole point of trying to preserve muscle. If you want to preserve muscle, you have to try and lift the same weights with the same amount of effort. Obviously it's normal if you can't, but try, at least try to push yourself. You have to keep pushing yourself at the gym if you want to keep those muscles. Maintain the same form. Crappy range of motion because you're on a cut is not an excuse. Also, the point number 5 that we said on the board about ab exercises, I don't want you to start thinking that you have to do ab exercises now in order to lose fat around here, because there is no exercise that burns fat around that area. However, what we can do is, if we strengthen our core, right, right, and we build our core nice and strong with ab exercises, then automatically when we get leaner, your abs will show more because there is something there. We've been working them out, okay? So that's the difference that I want you to get into your cabeza. People make a mistake though when they do ab exercises. They treat them like it's like an alien part of your muscles that is like completely different from the rest of your body. Why is it that when you do ab exercises, you do like, I don't know, sit-ups and then like circuits, you do like all these things with tempo and stuff, and when it comes to doing legs, for example, you use weight, progressive overload, hypertrophy training. But why do you treat your abs differently from your legs? Is it a different type of, you know, it's like a no muscle maybe, it's like something else that we've not yet discovered. Why don't we also use weight training for your abs in order to strengthen? Listen, I have to demonstrate this exercise. It's one of my favorite ab exercises. I did it yesterday. I'm still sore in my abs, by the way, I have to say. But this is one of the best ab exercises that you can do. Start adding weight, familia, like honestly, for your abs. So with this exercise, a lot of people, they make a mistake of like they're trying to ski. They use their arms in order to do these ab exercises. Instead, I want you to keep your arms fixated in one place, and it's your abs that crunches it, okay, and lead the movement. The movement needs to come from your abs, okay? The abs are doing the movement, leading into flexion of your spine, which is the main core activity of your abs. They can flex your spine, and it's nice and safe. Don't try and start bending your hips like you're doing an RDL. Are we doing an RDL, a glute exercise, or an ab exercise? No. So what we need to do is stay in place, crunch all the way, and then release, coming into normal position, neutral spine, and then again crunch all the way, and then slowly come back. This is a great exercise, and you can actually add weight over time and actually seriously strengthen your core. You're welcome.